Di, Sabaidi, how are all of thee? That's right, folks. Crossed over the border. This is the Thailand-Laos border right behind me, and I'm on the Thailand side, and I couldn't be any happier. I don't know if the Laos people take pity on me because of the accident and the wrecked motorbike, and just having some sympathy for me. I really don't know. I can only assume that, unless they made some sort of mistake and thought I paid the fine and didn't. I went up to the gate, not the gate, the office with the slidey door I was pointed to. Gave over my paperwork, which quite clearly states the date that I should have brought the motorbike back to Thailand. Even got the calculator and said 150,000 times 7 because it's 7 days late. So yeah, I'm happily confused, very happily confused. I mean, now means I've got a lot more kip in my pocket than I was intended to bring back into Thailand. So that'll be helpful for obviously when I return back to Laos. I won't have to worry about exchanging money too quickly, and obviously there'll be some fees to pay as and when I pop back into Laos again. But just for you all to know, the changes that Thailand made to the visa rules approximately, well, it'd be about a month ago now, because it was either on the day that I left or the day after I left. But either way, say it's been 4 weeks since I did the new update with the visa changes. So whereas about a year ago or so they upped it from 30 days to 60 days to increase tourism, clearly they're happy with the way things have gone in that time. I mean, they may obviously change it back to the 60 days again, but I'm suggesting that at this point they're going to keep it back as it was originally, before COVID and all the disruption and the drop in the business and all that. Yeah, I think they're just going to keep it as was prior to all the changes, which is a 30-day visa on entry. So yeah, the 60-day on entry is now gone. Obviously you can still do, I believe, or at least is what was reported at the time of the day that I crossed, or the day after I crossed, a month ago. You can still do an extension. Apparently the first one is still 30 days, but if you do a second one, which I don't know why that's even a thing, if I'll be honest with you, because yeah, I'm more than likely going to only stay for the 30, I think. Because I love it in Laos, so I don't, for me at least, because I don't just do the border crossing to come back to Thailand. When I do the border crossing, I've got friends and places to go and people to see and touring. Although I've done pretty much most of Laos now, I haven't really gone northeast. I haven't gone to the east, so towards Vietnam way. Yeah, so I've done north, south and west, but I haven't gone east. So maybe next time I'll, rather than catching up with friends in places that I've met, because obviously I've been to Laos many times now, so I've met many people, many local people that own businesses. I mean, obviously I make friends with tourists, backpackers and other people travelling through, but they're there and they're gone. When you make friends with the locals, they're always there. Although saying that, the friends I met on Don Det now in Pak-Se, which is why this trip I didn't go down to Don Det. They was, to me, not catching up with old friends, some of the old locals. With them not being there, the charm is it wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did when I had friends there. And they're in Pak-Se, so that's obviously where I spent the majority of this trip, in Pak-Se. I did go to Si Sa Ket, and obviously it was when I was trying to come back from Si Sa Ket back to Pak-Se with my friends, because my friend was in Bangkok at the time when I first arrived in Laos. I thought, I saw it, I'll go to Savannah Ket first. I spent one or two nights in Pak-Se, then went to Savannah Ket, and then it was the accident happened with the motorbike, returning back to Pak-Se, which obviously delayed myself. Delayed the motorbike. I was on time today for my visa to expire. And to be fair, if it wasn't for the fact of the import thing with the motorbike, I probably would have just done another extension in Laos and stayed, to be honest with you. You know, I got nothing to rush back to, you know, in Thailand too. I'm not planning on making any trips this time when I return back to Si Sa Ket. About the only trips I may do, and this is only really gonna it's only really for the YouTube, to be honest with you, and that's to go to the Cambodian border just to see what's going on there. Obviously I'll be putting myself at risk, clearly. You know, there's fighting going on, but you know, making videos with you know, I'm sure that I won't be able to get too close to any danger. I'm sure they'll close the border well before the border, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, that's about the only sort of trip I might do. I mean, it'd be a shame that obviously because of the area that's under, let's say, under fire, being disputed over, I won't obviously be able to get to visit those particular temples, which is a shame. But I don't think they were overly popular before all this carry on, you know, all this conflict started anyway. I'd visited that area before just to do a recce. Recce is just like you know, just to go and have a look to see what the situation was, because I was unable to find out at the time whether or not motorbikes could cross that particular border, and this was like a year before any of this conflict started. So I travelled that road to that border just for a day out, really, more than anything, and obviously to ask the question, can I cross into Cambodia using my motorbike at that particular border with Si Sa Ket? And the answer was no, you cannot. Trat, on the other hand, which is down near the coast, more south, you were able to take your motorbike across. That particular border now is obviously closed to anyone crossing. Some people were saying to me in Pak-Se, you know, why don't you go to Cambodia? Go to Cambodia with a motorbike with a Thailand registration number. Might not be such a good idea. I'm sure things will be fine. I'm quite clearly, I'm not Asian. You know, and obviously, generally, you know, people are looking at you from the front. They're not looking at you from the back where the number plate is. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm back in Thailand, folks, and I didn't have to pay maybe I shouldn't be kind of spreading the word, because I might just be one very, very, very lucky person, and like I say, might have just taken pity on me because I've had to spend a small fortune on repairing the bike. When I say small fortune, the man that actually did the repairs actually gave him quite a big tip, actually, because his wife, because I had nowhere to go that night. I was in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, I had a tent with me, so I was, you know, able to find somewhere to sleep, i.e. in my tent. And she gave me breakfast in the morning, you know. I mean, I did buy them some beers that night as well. So I looked after them, you know, as you do when people are looking at, it's, you know, it's karma, isn't it? You know, they took me in, they looked after my motorbike whilst I was trying to find the spare parts. Like I say, gave me a meal in the morning, arranged for the bus to pick me up to take me to Pak-Se so I could at least attempt to find a new wheel. So yeah, you know, he got a nice tip, and so yeah, but no fines, which is remarkable really, because I was 7 days late returning the motorbike. So happy days. Thank you, Thailand. Well, actually, I think the fine would have come from the Laos side. So thank you, Laos, or Lao, however you wish to pronounce it. So yeah, Kopul Makarapo, Kapchalai. Thank you very much. I'm so happy.